I would stupidly wager you can probably not hear my voice. Don't gamble, by the way. Unless it's something that you're willing to gamble away. Okay, so now's the time to either curse at me and tell me, you idiot, you fucked up, it sounds not working, or hopefully everything's working. Hopefully you can hear the background music and noise from the game, and hopefully you can hear my voice as well. That's good. Actually, I don't even need to type, technically speaking. Also, because I don't want an echo, I'm going to turn off the sound on YouTube Studio. Now the question is, did I get the game music and background noise to point background? You know what I mean. Background noise, background soundtrack to work as well. Because otherwise, if not, that means it's not the perfect stream. If it's not the perfect stream, that means we still have more work to do before you can play. Also, let me know if you want me to read the script, because yes, I can do that. So please try and keep that in mind. Crickets. Well, we've already wasted enough time. Let's begin your lesson on Arcadian. Go! Maybe perhaps you should actually teach me how to. Maybe, right now, I need a lesson on how to make this sound from the game work. I thought I had it. It's according to this, it does work. Well, let me try. I guess I'm just gonna have to try a bunch of different things. Oh, fuck me. Why is this so difficult? Well, what if I did that? Or maybe I did default. I mean, let's try that. I'm just gonna capture. No, don't tell me you're not responding. You'll respond. You don't have to like to read history books. But of course, when you're a kid, I love the patience word. It's just like trying to act cute. Part of me thinks she's flirting. Part of me thinks she's going from this acting like foxy or gentle to about to explode. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and check this bridge that you're here. Doesn't look like this. Ah. Okay, maybe I just need to either. I'm gonna try one more thing. I actually don't have if I switch to that, maybe that will actually make things better. Because I do want you to hear clearly. Now I need to go into here. I mean, that's true, but I still want to make it easy for you to hear me. Now, I wonder. Well, it's not really offering me to even use the headphones, which is kind of stupid. It's offering the real tech, and that's about it. So I guess I might not have a choice. That kind of sucks. You might end up having to use it. I might end up just removing the headphones I have on. Because I might just not have a choice. I mean, it's not like I really. It's not like my chance perfect doesn't have any bells and whistles, you know? Alright, well. That I can do. I know how to do that. Let's turn it down to 1/4. There. Let me know how that works. I had no idea how much work would have to go into this. It is so technical. I am honestly surprised that people Livestream. I'm surprised there haven't been quite a few computers that become victims of a nearby lake. Especially if they live in Florida like I do. I'm telling you, if I had like no patience, this computer would be alligator chow by now. And then I tell this personally, partially as a joke, and partially because I kind of like 1% mean it. It took me like at least a half hour just today, just to get this to work, and probably a total of like an hour and a half. It was getting the DS footage to work that was the easy part. On YouTube and Twitch, well, Twitch is a lost cause. Skip sleeping classes. Yeah, that's pretty normal. Athel's definitely around 16, 17. I didn't do that as a kid. Nice, Pensacola. Hey, I have a cousin who lives up there, actually. It's actually nice because the weather's a little bit cooler, so it's somewhere in between Florida and Georgia as far as the weather goes. But it's on the coast, so it's really nice. Do you ever travel down to like the central area or Tampa? I don't know if you're like into theme parks or amusement parks or anything like that. Although to be fair, you might live just as close to like Fun Spot and Six Flags if you're into that sort of thing. If you don't like need to live near an amusement park, there's also a couple of like smaller areas with rides or were. I think they might have been shut down. But about 10 years ago, there was like a couple of places with like a skyscraper or slingshot, which is pretty cool. Oh, the player has potential trope. Actually, I haven't got that one. Nice. Visiting with family is the way to go. Family and friends. Okay, by now the whole he has potential, hidden potential trope is kind of being overplayed. Also, I just realized this is a line type, and this looks like a Wardic. So, what is this? I guess these are supposed to represent Zoids. Well, maybe not Zoids. I mean, that does not look like a shield layer. It doesn't look like a training layer. Just a random thought. You're gonna get a lot of these during the stream. Lots of random thoughts. Yeah, an enormous potential. I hope they expand upon that later. That style activation definitely reference later. Oh, that's totally me and my ADHD. I have to be doing something where I'm falling asleep. If you yell at him like that, there's not a chance that Apple's gonna come out. Come out this instant means when I find you, I'm gonna kick your ass. And she looks like she would. Also, what are you doing out here, Apple? Shouldn't you be just sitting down here? It would actually be really cool if you could actually read some of the that would be a nice little way to expand it a little. But no such luck. It'd be kind of cool if they like had items hidden. But I think this is just for if they ever make the game, they absolutely should. Like using modern graphics, they should actually do that. Well, that's interesting. Most of the technology looks old, but it looks like this. Like some sort of server or computer console over there. But most of the decorations look battle formations. Oh, so that must be what he's talking about potential. That okay. That might actually have some payoff. And it honestly should. So it looks like it's divided into two waves. I'm pretty sure that is a castle, though it's kind of small. Oh, he should be, but I can't get him to sleep. Excuse me. God. That was terrible. Did not mean that. Yeah, he should be studying, but he's 18 years old, so he be even worse than his ability to pay attention to what he's doing must be worse than So Earth is a guileless soldier. I wonder if they do like some sort of exchange where soldiers from the Arcadia kingdom serve in the Empire Republic. I mean, it's not uncommon, I believe, with our allies. Well, up until recently, with our current political situation, for soldiers from other countries to work with soldiers. So that means Jack is a public If that's the case, then that means they're already quite skilled. Well, we also have to keep in consideration which soldiers that both the guileless and Hellenic Republic would be willing to let go. Especially if they suspect that they Also, there's the question of whether or not this takes place in the battle story timeline or the anime timeline. Obviously, if it's in the anime timeline, then they don't expect that. But the battle story is a whole different story. So I think this takes place in the battle story timeline. Although it could also be that this takes place concurrently with the Central too. In fact, maybe a 50% chance. Well, if that's the case, then the command post would be kind of below station. I would say Sir Jack probably would have found the shield biker if he's a pilot, whereas I mean, the fact he's probably a high-speed Zoid, and yes, I will be going on random tangents like this, but playfully unless I'm told to knock it off. Hopefully you like this sort of speculation, because I love it myself. I would say Earth does not strike me as a great or contact. The fact he has a command wolf makes me think both he and Jack probably did high-speed Zoids. Although I guess the Arcadia Zoids option. Gojless, however, is more... I mean, yes, it has thrusters on its back, but that's not a Gojless as main purpose. The Gojless is more of like a mallet. It's a blunt instrument. It's a hammer. The Shield Biker is probably more like a scalpel. she'll like it's just playing fast. Now, if this takes place indeed in the century, or even the Bow Store, and it takes place concurrently before the public, that means the Blade Lighters not going to be around. Gun Snipers not going to be around. Shield Liger knows what it is. And the same thing goes for the Saber Tiger. Well, there is also the Great Saber. Yeah, I think the Great Saber probably would have been I'm by the war, I'm referring to the first war between the Dragons and or the first Dark Continental War. That would be interesting. Then we could probably get maybe a few tickets over years too. But aren't we on the top? I'm under the impression that well, maybe not. This must be the bottom floor. Great Saber is like probably one of the best designs. Not only that, but the upgrades make perfect sense for the Great Saber. But yeah, I'm thinking the Great Saber would have been left over from the first Dark Continental. And between that and the Iron Con, we're talking about the two most powerful blades. Oh, sorry, do you need me to speak up? Or no, maybe I need to go a little bit closer to my computer. Hopefully you should be able to hear me now. Only other thing I can think of is just trying to talk at a louder volume until you can hear me. I mean, the fact that you can even hear Great Saber means that we're getting somewhere. I'm trying to lean closer to my computer. Because I don't know if it is the microphone on my headset or the microphone on my computer that's transmitting my voice. It's probably the latter. Because the headset didn't show up as an option. When selecting audio. Yeah, it looks that way. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to like just project my voice better and see if that makes a difference. And of course, natural any royalty. Well, even today, President, for example, with the White House without protection. Same thing for in Prime Minister. country. Begins to goes for his family. Makes sense. Even in a well-run kingdom, where the ruling class is popular among the population, there's always going to be dissonance. Also, I just realized that my visual actually doesn't look very good. And I have no idea what to do about that. That does not make me happy. Actually, I just realized that's actually my display, too. Well, that really sucks. I wonder why it's like that. I'm going to have to try to see if I can fix that over time. Okay, that looks a little bit better. I admit that's not as good as I would. I'm going to need to see if I can transmit in higher quality in the future. And maybe get, ow, these headphones kind of hurt my ears. Try to see if I can get a better way to get like a better microphone, or a microphone that will at least work with the computer. Oh, I wonder what this extra button is. That's a problem. Kind of dumb setup. I bet. Okay, something just lit up. That's promising and new. So let's try going back into settings. Audio. Of course, it's still not coming up. Let's see if that works. I kind of wish this color coordination on the headphones actually indicated whether or not it's working or not. I'm suspecting the fact that it's lighting up. Oh, and that's also finally got caught. Also, you forgot the question marks. Honestly, if the king takes offense to that little display, it's time for you to find a new boss. Of course I have to check my mouse settings. Well, better nothing. Bluetooth and devices. It's actually, I'm hoping at the very least the quality of video is enough for you to see what I'm doing. Okay, that's a good sign. So yeah, you can at least tell if I'm getting warm or cold. Actually, I probably should. I know what I should do. Well, at the very least, you can't hear me yawning, hopefully. Okay, so what type of headphone is this? At least YouTube's sort of working. Settings, first audio. Oh. Right. You don't mean like on Windows, you mean here. And it needs to be over here. Except it doesn't give me an option because it's kind of dumb. Well, I can't see. Not letting me do that. Why? Well, so much for that idea. Well, updating and reinstalling drivers, that's not something. Come to think of it, I never got the microphone to work. We might actually be stuck with the microphone on my computer. I might need to get a different microphone to do this. Yeah, I'm just gonna give up for now. The thing is, it should be allowing me to do this, but it's not. And I have no idea why. I might have to just consider researching again later, see if I can get to work. In the meantime, the best thing I can do is just start speaking up. Although there should be some reason why. I didn't realize you had a volume on my headphones. That makes no sense, though. So, yeah, that's good. I might have to try different. I might want to consider different. Normally when I use my microphone drink, well, I almost knocked my glass up. Normally when I use it to talk with people online, normally it works just fine. So I don't know what the heck is happening. This is a Gordos LR, so this seems to indicate that, well, this definitely music takes place during the second, no, during the Western continent. Well, that also indicates that as well. That's, if I'm not mistaken, Gordos LR did not appear until the second one. It's basically a cheaper version of the It must be a really small game. Penetrate the territory so easily. North and south. So from both the top and the bottom, geographically speaking. Nice friendship. That's going to be helpful. Now, the fact that they were able to so easily penetrate Arcadian territory is a very small kingdom. I mean, more of a nation state. Well, part country. Or it could just be that they're not having control. also going to have to watch or listen to some of this footage to see how effective the microphone is. So let me see if I can. I don't think there's any way to use the game, unfortunately. I'm going to try doing one more. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Just enough so that we hopefully can hear it, but enough to the point where hopefully it will not override my voice. Okay, so that's how I set it. And I might end up changing around the controls as I try to find something I'm comfortable with. It's actually a bit of a shame I don't have a physical copy. That would feel more comfortable. But trying to get a physical copy of Legend of Saga DS these days, that's $100. That's actually almost as much as the DS era Pokemon games go for. It can easily go for $150 to $200 nowadays. The only reason I notice this is because I currently work in a game store. There we go. That's the information I wanted. Although you're pretty curious, I imagine that if you're baby, you'd probably tell me. And if and when that happens, I'll probably just discontinue the stream unless anyone else comes. Actually, I suspect there probably are 2 viewers, because I don't think that I count. I wonder if the touchscreen works. Well, surprisingly not. That's kind of disappointing. So that's how that works. I'm not expecting to find any items. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Now we're really cooking. Because in the Game Boy Advance game, you can also go fast. I'll also save. I don't know, my instincts tells me that that's the exit, but we want to get as many exits as possible. Cool. Okay, so what did I config as the... Here we go. Oh, that's pretty cool. But I don't really need to save, do I? Oh, so that does work. Bounties. Interesting. Unfortunately, it doesn't show what it looks like. We're probably just gonna end up just... So that's the... So I made Z the B, but interesting. But right now they can... Right now... That's not what I wanted to do. I still want to see what it looks like. Now... What's... There we go. This is what I'm looking for. There we go. So I need to remember which is which. What I configure as the Y button? Okay, so that's A. A's the Y button. Actually, kind of. Oh, nice! I can do that. Oh, I see. That's. Wait, these are all support. Oh, here we are. I'm actually not gonna do that. But yeah, it's the same, basically the same. It's basically the same type of machine gun that you see in the previous Zoids Saga games, at least for Legacy. Pretty simple stuff. Nothing. Right, what's that? Oh, I see. That's nothing. That's actually pretty useful. Actually, do give you some freebies. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder why I kept moving. That's useful. Arcadian technology. Wow, that kind of sucks. Makes you wonder if maybe a battle happened here. Wow, that just jumped up in viewership. I didn't expect 4 views. I mean, it looks like things might be going better than I expected. Also, apologize if you can barely hear me. I'm still trying to work out a bunch of kinks. Again, if you assume you can hear me, yes, I can read the dialogue if you want me to. Just tell me in the chat. Otherwise, I'm just gonna try to find other ways to make this interesting. That's a relief. The trouble is I don't know what I'm doing correctly. That makes it so. But I guess I'll just continue doing what I'm doing. So the Emperor's after this relic. And I know enough to know what this relic is. Time. It's starting to rain again, which means my connection might end up suffering as a result. Now the Republic and the Empire will not clean up their own mess. That's pretty cool. So originally that must have been the script and the original version must have also been a developer. Well, maybe not. It's usually towards the end of the game. That's useful. Being here at Lee seems so out of place. Especially given the fact that the rest of the characters are not so flashy. You can tell the translators had fun with this. I'm probably gonna go to bed in about 45 minutes. Or like 10:30. Yeah, that's about 45 minutes. Well, that's pretty cool. But we don't want to do we? We're gonna make it interesting enough to the point where it's not gonna be necessary. Presumably these soldiers are probably either ex-Republic or ex-Empire, or both. There we go, that's what I went to. In that case, unless there's anyone else who wants me to continue streaming, I'm probably going to go after the technical. But first, let me see if I can do something. You've kind of earned it. I don't know, for some reason I trust you. Feel free to take the title or not. I won't be offended if you don't. But you've helped me since to get this going as far as it has. And you definitely deserve it. And I definitely trust you. That doesn't mean you have to stay late though, or anything like that. That's just my way of saying your help has been appreciated, and I shall continue to appreciate any support you can give me. Yeah. Well, that's no fun. Not our fault that you are serving a power-hungry bastard. Oh, he walks far. Actually, I just realized that they're kind of like ice. Me too. I'm gonna try to become familiar with what I did so I can help someone with the same problem if I encounter them. Well, this seems to suggest that most of the Zoids are only owned like by the government. Which kind of brings up a whole discussion of how often Zoids are privately owned versus being owned by the military, being owned by anyone but the military. Yeah, like how common is it? So it's in my opinion that people like Irvine who own a medium-sized vessel are probably pretty common. That's what it seems to suggest. Because if civilians owned in Arcadia Kingdom owned Zoids like America's own guns, these guys would have been run out of time. That's actually kind of funny that, you know, they didn't just simply raid the shop for both weapons and Zoids and just start using them to fight off. In that case, I think I should probably do the same thing. Assuming, let's see, I work till I think 7:15. So, assuming that I A, get home in time, and B, dinner ends in time, yeah, I'm definitely going to try to check you out and help you get your stream up and running. If not, watch it myself. So yeah, definitely thanks for telling me. Hopefully, my fingers are crossed that things will go off without a hitch. Okay, so that makes sense. It's the same thing as in Zoids Saga 2. I'm probably gonna buy eventually 6 of each, but I don't have enough money to do that right now. Actually, this is not a bad selection. That's basically a shot cannon, though. I probably would have actually translated it accordingly, but they might also have a limited number of graphics. Yeah, everything's so expensive. It's like one thing goes well, and then the other shoe drops. I know it's annoying. Come to think of it, I'm surprised that this storage problem isn't affecting. Well, they actually have quite a fit. Yeah, they're definitely working with a limited number of characters. Micro sensor. It is kind of disappointing, however, that they still haven't created like pictures or sprites for the armor. Whereas at least you can look at a picture of the weapon that you want to buy. Too bad that after there is no other Saga games after the DS era, because I would have liked to see where else they would have taken this. I do know, of course, that there is Zoids Saga Online, so that's technically not completely true. But that was the last game. Unfortunately, none of us will be able to ever play Zoids Saga Online. And That's probably like the one silver lining is being able to dodge. Yeah, I've heard that unfortunately desktops are becoming more expensive. And there's also storage becoming more expensive, or RAM becoming more expensive, I heard about. So it's now like it's becoming more expensive to own a personal computer, or at least a high performance personal computer. And how billionaires now want us to have to pay for storage. Like socialized storage. Like all the storage would be online, it wouldn't be on your actual computer. And you have to pay a subscription. And understandably, not a lot of people want to do that. I wouldn't want to do that. No, I prefer having things on hand rather than having to pay a subscription. Actually, I thought it was Core Gather, not Core Saver, but that could be a direct translation. They're not gonna base the translation. Blanks? Okay, now I'm intrigued. Yeah, but again, no one wants to subscribe to laptops, game consoles, none of that. I mean, I'm sure there are probably some people who do, but I would imagine that they're in the minority. Okay, I see how this works. Because at the end of the day, you want to pay less for something over time. I mean, that's only natural. Even if you end up having shelling attacks or for this turn. I think there's another thing like that. So I can understand why people don't like the idea of having to, do a subscription. Plus, it feels like a cheap money grab. And no one in their right mind wants to tolerate that shit. I have heard, however, that ever since the development of AI, which requires heavy metals that are used to make microchips, that's caused the price to go up. There's probably also the cost associated with the supply chain. That probably isn't helping either. But I think nonetheless that a lot of people, I'm sure there's going to be some people who are going to accept this to have to do a subscription. But I imagine that a lot of us who grew up with owning these items are probably not going to tolerate it. We're probably, well, unless we don't have a choice. I don't know. Knock on wood, our computers are not going to be, they're going to be going for quite a while. They're not going to die anytime soon. Okay, what do I want to do? Oh yes, I want to save. I mean, I've made it one purpose. I'll just talk to these last two and then I'll save.
I think people underestimate
how much the global market, how much the individual national markets are just so heavily intertwined. And don't even get me started on the stupidity of the tariffs. Unfortunately, we're just too interdependent on each other, nation-wise. And don't even get me started on how inefficient we are with our resources and not recycling enough as opposed to putting in landfills, which I would imagine if we recycled more, that might make things at least a little less worse than it is. And yeah, being able to repair things, that's honestly something that probably shouldn't even be taught in school. That's a skill that everyone should have. Not be anymore that exists in the world. So that suggests that Trinity Liger's Zoid core is different from the Shield Liger, different from the Saber Lion, different from the Liger. I always assume that the Shield Liger and the Liger use the same Zoid core. And same thing goes for the Liger Zero, most likely. That also suggests that Trinity Liger's wild Zoid is probably an endangered species. They might even be extinct. Well, I'm surprised that they couldn't just use a Shield Liger or Liger Zero core. But maybe in order to use the equipment, maybe that's too stressful on other Zoids. And we're not going to do that right now because we just don't have the data. I do have ideas, it's just that we need to get past these soldiers. I get the feeling they're going to interfere with plans. As for what that plan is, it's to go around, battle, gather materials. Yep, I knew it. Okay, now these guys are giving off massive ice flood vibes. Guys, you're just a bunch of Molgas. Finally. Actually, no. 84. They upgraded it. It used to be 50 in the Zoids Saga 2 / Legacy. So now the weapon. Oh. Yeah, like I said, I mean... Wait. Is the power different? Now it's 97. That's interesting. They must all get like some sort of bonus. Or at least Earth does. Yeah, like I said, they're kind of stupid. Yeah, he gets some sort of attack bonus. I guess because he's a little pilot. Maybe in the Empire he piloted one of the Imperial commandos that were captured in the war. Because The wolf type is usually a Republic exclusive. But yeah, using a multi against a bunch of mammals is... I mean, can you be any more suicidal? You might as well just jump yourself off a cliff. And leave the poor Molgas out of it. Huh. So that does confirm my theory that most Zoids that are not owned by government are probably small. And probably owned by mercenaries like Irvine. Okay, where was I? I want to do this. I don't know if this will actually work or not. So I'm going to also save it in the save slot. One of these days I'm going to actually test that. But I don't want to take the chance. Doing Zoids in 3D is probably gotta be the most difficult, but also one of the most challenging projects I can think of, but also the most satisfying. And I'm actually gonna write this down mentally. Pay attention to this formation because you're gonna see it again. Actually, you're gonna see every formation again. So it looks like we got a gator, which is forward. Two iguanas. So it looks like the iguanas act as a sort of escorts. And then we have terrorists in the rear. I would imagine that if the touchscreen works as it's supposed to on the phone, that would probably be a pretty good control. Can you read Japanese? Because if that's the case, I don't see that as a problem. Okay, this is probably a problem. Oh, I just realized I forgot to do something. I wanted to get their Zoid. So we're gonna... Whoa! Oh, I didn't mean to do that. That is indeed unfortunate. But it's also lucky we had it for a while. I didn't really even put the machine gun on. I'm probably going to end up getting rid of that, actually. Since he doesn't have multi-attack. Yep. I should be able to take it back turn. we're gonna start building a little army to fight the Emperor. I do wish that this was translated though. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Loading the wrong game. I wonder. Damn. That means I'm not gonna be able to, do what I wanted. I needed just one more. Oh, that's fucking annoying. But maybe I can get something out. Nice shot. Okay, well, I can at least get a good. And I'm gonna be gathering a lot of those too. Oh, did you just hold still? I mean, realistically speaking, the things are probably not gonna work. And if I were to reprogram it, I'm not sure I'd actually make visible text work. So that confirms that Zoids is box. CN. I think that's the Nevis. Yeah. Ow. The problem with these headphones is it's making my ears kind of hurt. Where are you going, huh, pal? Yeah, most players run away from wild encounters, but not me. So it looks like what we're looking at here is basically a standard infantry used by the Gylos Empire, probably with Nevis. I mean, if we're to believe that the cannonry, I think the cannonry MOBA, the Arcadia version, has Nevis logos. So that means they were it's an old design. And if I'm slurring my speech, it's because I'm tired. Rear and Mocha. Basically just regular Mogos. I probably should actually restore my HP first. This is a common tactic that's will allow me to battle for sustainability. I do consider the cannons to be a bigger threat. Huh, I don't blame you. I'm gonna finish up this round and go to bed myself. And any of you other viewers who I see there, if you want me to stay for another 15 minutes, now's the time to speak up or forever hold your peace. Thanks for helping me earlier. I really do appreciate it. And I know you said it's no problem, but hey, you didn't have to. I do remember that. I did keep that in mind. I'm sure there's any number of other things you can at this time. So thank you for hanging out with me, of all things. Yeah, I know it's no problem. Still appreciate it nonetheless. Also, I will ask you about your stream in the future. Not just to repay you, but I'm also curious to see what content you're going to make. I'm actually gonna have to go back soon. I am running out of HP. Would you just stay still, you stupid worm? Gotcha. Anyways, good luck with getting your stuff done. Hopefully we'll be able to get everything done ready for work tomorrow. And not have to, you know, bother with it in the morning. I usually try to get everything done the night before too. Actually, night just not even the day of. If I, of course, have the choice. Take that. Oh, come on! A bunch of bull. They just keep on dodging my attacks. Damn. Finally. Jeez, I don't remember accuracy being so poor. Oh, he's surviving on... No. I'm not going to use my most powerful weapon. Oh, it's a short-range machine. Of course it is. Overkill. I guess I'm going to go back, heal up, and then I'm just going to shut down. Still, it's nice to see I had 4 little things. Yeah, there's not really anything else I can do. I'm gonna have to work on the armor a little bit. That way I can't get so easily defeated. Then I'm gonna go back. I think I go through here. Oh crap. That was too close. But it could be worse. I think I must have missed more than I made hits. Oh, that's pretty cool. I can upgrade the weapon weight, I can upgrade the agility. Oh, but this comes at the cost of... That's interesting. So, I might end up not wanting to do that. But I think overall it's kind of worth it. Besides, I think over time, as they move up, they'll even carry more. Wait, do I have... I'm only gonna like add a little bit. That's interesting. So if I upgrade agility... This is very interesting, how you have to balance it out. Upgrading speed means getting rid of agility, and so on and so forth. I really like this. I really do. I think it's a very cool take. I've been wanting to upgrade for a while though. So you just have to like balance it out. It might have actually been better to actually try upgrading agility instead so I can dodge. So I might end up doing that with a lot of Right now it doesn't really matter that his ability to carry equipment isn't very high right now. Very cool. But I get red's the real color, so I'm not going to change that either. So what I'm going to do is... Yeah, I'm ending my stream. I mean, it's been 2 hours. It's been a good thing. I think what I'm probably going to do is play next Saturday, but we'll see. You can also find me in the Zoids Discord. Specifically Zoids Cult, as well as your regular just called Zoids on Discord. I imagine most of you are probably from Discord. It's probably how you found me in the first place. Oh wait, is there anyone even? I guess not. Oh, it looks like I'm all alone anyways, aside from... Dang! Hey, you're still here. Okay, that's amazing. Yeah, I know that. You have the same username. Oh, you got banned from the other one? I'm active in both. I actually thought you were a member of both. I mean, how did that happen? I mean, you seem like the sort of person, maybe I just don't know you very well, but you seem like the sort of person who can stay out of trouble. And if anything, you've been helpful. So I get people can change and all of that. Also, final notice. I'm not even sure what that's supposed to be. I guess that's supposed to be a Zoid port. Okay, anyways, like I said, you still have stuff to do too. There'll be more time to talk about this later in a future stream. Okay, so what I want to do... Oh yes, I want to... This would be so much easier on the DS. Except, like I said, I have to pay over $100, and the game will need to be translated. Actually, no, I think I'm going to do instead is go back. I still want to see whether or not the save state is the same, works the same as saving the game. But yeah, that's it. You have a good night and have a good day at work tomorrow. I'm ending the stream. Understood. We've been going for 2 hours. That's enough.